pronounce and spell your name. I said, Susan Taylor, SusanTaylor. It's just not that hard. It's a very simple name. Okay.
So now that we know who you are, and we're recording. So Susan, thank you for participating. As we discussed, I'm going to ask you a few questions about you and your relationship with your community, and you can answer them in any way that you like.
Okie dokie.
So, how old are you?
48.
Great. And do you have a political orientation?
Democrat, lefty.
And how about religion? Do you have a religion or religious orientation?
Catholic now, really none. I would say atheist, but who knows? I can't be sure.
Okay. Does that make you agnostic?
Agnostic tending towards atheism.
Interesting. You have a whole category to yourself?
I do.
What's your job title?
My job title is bookseller / events and marketing director for the Book House of Stuyvesant Plaza and Market Block Books in Troy.
Okay. And how do you view your role in the community?
Well, I guess my role is to recommend good books for people to read and to see that authors, both local and non-local, get to present their books in our independent bookstores. Well, independent bookstores. Somebody else does the events for Market Block. But in any case, get authors in and get them publicized, and also to support the local businesses that give me what I need, whether it's the Spill and the Beans coffee shop next door to Market Block, or Bountiful Bread next to the Book House of Stuyvesant Plaza, or going out to hear live music, or reading Metroland, the alternative news weekly in the Capital District. Whatever it is, I try to go for the local option rather than the homogenized national option.
Sure. And can you talk about a little bit your personal relationship with your local independent community?
Well, I'm the president of the board of Capital District Local First, and that's good. I got back into taking knitting classes at Bow Knits, the yarn store in Cohoes, which is not a member of our local network, but I still wanted to learn how to knit. So I went there and was introduced to all these women who knit and crochet and spin, and they are the most welcoming community you could ever hope to find. So I hooked up with these women, and through them I decided that I was going to start a knitting group at the Book House every second Friday of the month, so that we get more people from the knitting community into the bookstore. Let's see. What else do I do? There has to be other things. I started a book group at the Book House. So we do once a month, we read a book, and customers or just random people off the street come in and discuss the book with us. Let's see, we go to board meetings at Flavor Cafe. They are a member of our network, so it's nice to support a member. And I don't know. I can't remember really the last time I went to a chain store. It was probably Target for underwear or something like that. But
Sure.
I don't really know how to locally source underwear.
Sure. If you figure it out, let us know.
I know. I'm thinking about putting it up on I really need to find out where one can buy clothing, socks,
Sure.
whatever, locally.
Yeah, vintage is great, but not for socks and underwear.
No. And even though I'm learning how to knit, socks are pretty complicated.
Right.
I don't think I can do it quite yet.
You'll get there. So this is kind of a fun one.
Okay.
If your local independent community were an animal, what animal would it be and why?
Wow. Golly. I think for the capital region, I'd have to say a platypus. And the reason would be because it's 4 different counties, and they all seem to be different things, so we don't know if we're a mammal or a duck or something else.
But you exist together.
But we do exist together, yes.
Great.
That's an excellent question.
So I told you it was fun.
And I'm glad I had an answer.
Okay, I'm going to give you a different version of the third question. Can you talk about a time when a local independent business from your community went away and how that affected your life?
Well, I'm really sorry that there aren't local independent music stores anymore. There is the Last Vestige in Albany and Saratoga. They do used and new stuff, but not as much new stuff as I would really like. Most of the music that I buy from when I go to live performances, and I buy CDs after the show, or I buy it online. There used to be a business called Miles of Music out in LA, and I would buy online because they were independent. If not local, they were independent. So I kind of went for that rather than going to the evil empire. Moving from Boston, I was spoiled. You know, I was used to Newbury Comics, and I know that they're a chain, but they're a small, locally owned chain, and they carry a lot of local music, and they carry a lot of small labels. And now I find myself going online to cdbaby.com for people who aren't distributed, nationally, and then beyond that, really, I have to go to shows to get my music, which is really irritating, until I go to Boston and spend my $150 every single time when I go to Newbury Comics.
Great. So, last two questions. You know a little bit about the project that we're working on and who's likely to see it and how people might interact with it. What one lesson from your life as an entrepreneur and organizer could you share with people who might see this?
Be persistent. Don't give up. Things will eventually happen. You just have to keep on going. I'm not saying it's like through the valley of darkness or whatever, but seriously, you just need to think, okay, eventually things are going to come together if you just keep on going, keep on going. I can't remember who the quote is from. I want to say Winston Churchill, but I'm probably wrong. It's when you find yourself going through hell, keep on going. Otherwise, you're stuck there.
Great,
so,
great.
Just a thought.
Last question.
All right.
So along those lines, knowing who's going to see this and interact with it, and hopefully, that will be a large audience, what message as an entrepreneur and as an organizer of local independent business in Albany and Troy, New York, and the Capital District, what message would you like to share, if any?
Practice what you preach, and everybody has a little bit of local in them. They really don't have a choice. Everybody was raised somewhere, everybody lives somewhere, everybody works somewhere, and you never hear anybody say, really, when I retire, what I want to do is I want to go live in a place that has only big box stores. I want to live in a place whose streets are lined with parking lots and huge, anonymous, ugly architecture so that I can drive from place to place and buy the cheapest plastic crap possible.